When you open Blue's development environment, also called the build time, you can watch one of the featured tutorial videos before you begin. On the left of the start page, we can create a new project, open an existing project, or browse for help. Let's create a new project. Select the blank template. Create project. Welcome to your first project. There are several windows that you should familiarize yourself with before developing your project file. On the left, we have the Project Explorer. Project Explorer is the heart of navigating around your project features. It is divided into sections. Project, some global project properties. System architecture, where we define the HMI target, configure communication drivers to connect to one or more devices. We also control target properties and features here. Screen design, where we create our screens, navigation folders, content screens, scripts, and keypads. Variables, this is where we define both internal variables and variables that will be linked or bound to external device data points. Alarms and events. This is where we create groups of alarms, the system error group, and set our operation log settings. Logging, as the name implies, this is where everything logging related is defined, creating logging groups and related settings here. Recipes. A good HMI needs the ability to be able to save and send and receive banks of parameters. This is where you define your recipe families, recipe groups, recipes, and the items within each recipe. Security. Create user groups, define users, and overall control the security settings of your HMI. Language table. This isn't auto translation. This is where you build your language association tables to associate words, text, or phrases between different languages. You control how you will switch between those languages on the fly. Converters, a very powerful feature in Blue. Create reusable definitions for converting data, scale data, define ranges for colors, messages, convert units, and create custom expressions. Next, we have the tool chest window. The tool chest is divided into sections as well. Parts. These are complex, pre-made objects that can be placed on various screen types. You bind these objects to variables or other objects to achieve a one-of-a-kind HMI interface. So switches, lamps, displays, trends, you name it. Shapes. These are simple objects that can be used alone or combined together to create the rest of the basic graphics you need. Everything from text, lines, polygons, scales, even more advanced ones, shapes like arches and Bezier curves. Predefined images. This is a growing library of images that can be freely used in your project. Layout objects. Although last on this list, these are arguably the most important objects. These objects let you build a modern and reactive HMI interface. Easily lay out your objects using grids, create dynamic lists, menus using stack panels. Want an HMI that's responsive like your phone or tablet? You need to use these graphics. We cannot forget about the theme and color set options. Configurable during both building your project and when running your project, you can quickly switch between these themes and theme color sets easily. Moving over to the right of the screen, we have two windows docked here, Properties and Object List. Properties displays all the pertinent properties for one or more objects on a screen that we can select, but also selections that we make in the Project Explorer. Set static properties, bind the variables, target properties, and even other objects. The Properties window is invaluable as you develop your project. Object List. This powerful window will let you see the nesting of your various objects on a screen. Need to hide an object temporarily in the build time only? Toggle the eye. Layered object and you need to see the properties? Select it here to see it not only highlighted on the screen, but the properties dialog follows along. Down below, we have the Errors and References windows. In the Error window, as you develop your project, any errors, warnings, information messages will appear automatically. No need for compiling, blue error checks along the way. References. A great tool to locate, and if necessary, replace references for variables, properties for objects, targets, alarms, recipes. Where is your language text being used exactly? Look for the objects and locations where security levels have been set. Even look for specific instances of text or strings. You can navigate directly to the objects or locations in the list. Finally, at the top of the blue build time environment, we have the common toolbar. New project, open, save, and close your project. Undo and redo. Copy and paste. Duplicate. Duplicate lets you quickly create copies of objects based on pixel spacing or dragging your mouse. You can even automatically assign variables to the new instances of these objects that you create. Delete. Test states of lamps, switches, and language tables to get a feel of how it will look in simulation or runtime. Reopen any accidentally closed windows. Simulation. Transfer to your HMI target. Help. Development language change and snap to grid and ruler options.